Hi guys, I have a little review, and it's on a few of MAC's eyeshadows, and I have 4 of them. I have Gesso, Blank Type, Espresso, and Amber Lights. Um, so 3 of these are matte, and Blank Type is a matte squared finish, while these 2 are regular mattes. And I'm just going to do some smart swatches on my hands. I'm just going to start with the lightest color. So you can see Gesso, Blank Type, Amber Lights, and Espresso. And all of these colors are very pigmented. They are very pretty. I paid 100 Norwegian for each of these. For me, that is very cheap. That's what I pay for L'Oreal eyeshadow, so for me it's not a difference, and it's also like the new case with the magnetic closure. I got all of these, no, not all of them, but I got a few of them, I don't remember which, in Amsterdam when I was there, as well as the case. The case was, I think, €6. I think it's like 40 Norwegian here, and I don't remember how much the eyeshadows were. They were maybe like €13 maybe, I don't remember. Not that it really matters, but they are in the, like, I bought them as the refill. I didn't buy it with the pot. But in the US I think they are $14.50 for the pot and $11.50 for just the refill, like, eyeshadow. I also have a few of the bigger palettes, but I have taken the separators out and I have other eyeshadows in them, so I'm not going to show them to you, but they have room for 15 eyeshadows. I'm just going to go get some dupes that I have, and I'm going to show you them as well, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm just going to show you the dupes first, and again I have the swatches of the MAC shadows on my arm, and I'm going to start with the darkest shade, and this is a shade from Isadora's Matte Chocolates palette. And it's a little bit bigger. It's the same size, but it's a little bit deeper. But you can see that they are really similar. This is just a tiny bit darker, but I think it's also a little bit more pigmented. You can see them next to each other. This is MAC and this is Isadora. It's a little bit darker, but when you get it on your eyes, you don't really tell the difference. The formulas are pretty much the same. They're both matte. I do tend to grab for this more often though. Just because I don't really know why, I just do. And it's a little bit bigger, and I paid for a palette with 5 eyeshadows, and I paid the same price I would pay for 2 MAC eyeshadows. And then the next one is from the same palette by Isadora. It's from Matte Chocolates as well, and this is the lightest shade, and it's similar to Blank Type. You can see they are super similar. They're the exact same color. And I'm just going to take my other hand and I'm going to swatch them as well. Okay, so this is Blank Type, and this is from the Isadora palette. This is a little bit more chalky, but I think that is just because it is the matte squared formula, and I know a lot of people say that they prefer the matte squared. I find they were more chalky, they had more fallout, and I don't know if there is really that much of a difference that it really counts, but well. And then the other one is another like drugstore thing, and I have some black eyeshadow in this. I'm just going to take a Q-tip and wipe it off. Okay, so this is a Pierre Réne eyeshadow. I depotted it and I didn't get the name, but I will find it for you and I will put it down below. And you can see this one and Amber Lights, super similar once again, and I am going to swatch them for you. So this is Amber Lights, and this is the one by Pierre Réne. This is a little bit more golden, like pure golden, while this is more on the orange side, but they are still super similar, and I really like both of them. Here you can see them on my hand. So this is Amber Lights, and this is by Pierre Réne. And again, I will find the number or name for this when I will put it in the bottom bar thing. And then for the matte white, I had so much problems finding a matte white. I could not find it at the drugstore, so I went to MAC and I knew they had gesso, so I went and got it. And then I ordered the 120 palette, which is this big. And this top matte white here is awesome. It's like seriously awesome. I'm just going to get some of the color of my hand. This is brush cleanser, by the way, if you were wondering. But it does actually do the job. You can see that my hands are clean. So I'm going to swatch the matte white here, and then gesso on the other hand. Now obviously the 120 palette is, the eyeshadows are a lot smaller, but I paid $19 or $20 for this whole palette with 20 eyeshadows, and if you were in the US this would cost $14.50 or $11.50 for just eyeshadow. But this one is from the 120 palette and this is gesso. Is there a difference? No. Are they awesome? Yeah, they are. And I tend to use the 120 palette more just because I don't bring this with me everywhere. Because if I take this, there are 119 other colors I can use. So here they are again. Gesso and the one from the 120 palette. Are these worth the money? For me, yes, they are, because for me they are almost drugstore quality. For other people, maybe not. If you live in the US and you can get an eyeshadow palette for $5, then probably not, because they are good quality, but they are not the best. I mean, as you can see, like by swatches and stuff like that, a lot of the eyeshadows I have from the drugstore are super, like, similar. And the Pierre eyeshadow I showed you, the one similar to the Amber Lights, this cost 100 Norwegian and that one cost 40. So there is quite a bit of difference. It's under half the price, and it's also bigger, I think. But I will probably buy more of these. I'm planning to get Satin Taupe and Carbon, at least, and maybe 2 more so I can fill another palette. But yeah, for me they are worth it because they are so similar to drugstore price. But if I would live in the US, I could get awesome drugstore for like half the price or cheaper. So yeah, yeah. Thanks guys, I'll see you again later.